Lesson titled Copying Column Formulas. We're in Workbook Tips and Tricks, and we're on the Worksheet tab, Copy Column Formulas. Up here in the E column, we see that I have a years column, and if we look at the years, we see that it's based on the hire date. And I think it's just kind of interesting to look at this function. It's one that's been around from the early days of Lotus 1-2-3, before it was even called Excel. And it uses a function that's called date diff. It shows the date difference. And basically here you see equals date diff, and then you have some parentheses. And in the parentheses, we say one of the dates, and then the difference to the other date, and the other date we have as today, and today is a function, so it also has open and close parentheses after it to show that it's a function that just generates today's date. Then there's a comma, and then y in quotes to tell us that we want to see the difference in just years, not days or months or anything like that. We just want to see years. So in quotes we say years, and then we end that all with another parentheses. So that's a great little function, and it just tells us that from the date they were hired till today, it's been 13 years. By the way, that could be an M for months or D for days right here. It's pretty handy. Well, we want to copy this all the way down, and our problem is, though, that we have 742 rows of data, and typically we would copy this down using our autofill handle. And the autofill handle, if you don't already know, is the little green dot right here in the corner of that selection. We grab it, our cursor changes to a thin plus. Here it's a thick plus, here it's a thin plus. And we click on that little square button and we pull it down, and that does work. The problem is this would take a while to drag down 700 rows. So there is a much faster way. And that faster way is simply to double click the autofill handle, and it will fill all the way down as long as there's data associated with that formula. So in other words, when it runs out of data, it'll end. So I'm just going to double click, click, and it copies that all the way down. Now, I just want to bring up here, since we're talking about copying formulas, that there is a quick way to get to the bottom. And we don't have to go all the way over to the scroll here. We can do Control down arrow. That'll take me to the end of my data, 742, and we've copied that all the way down. I'm going to do Control up arrow to take me back. To learn some more little quick maneuvers for moving around inside of Excel, you can go to the next lesson, which is called Move and Select.